Hey everyone, I'm here with a friend of mine called Linda Bedessian, who I've not seen for about 2.5 years. And I was just walking down Montana in Los Angeles, and there she was, and we just bumped into each other. And Linda is a chiropractor, but not your average kind of chiropractor. She is a very different type of chiropractor called Network Spinal Analysis. And it's something I first came across when I first came to LA. Okay, we're still going.
Okay.
Still here. This is a form of chiropractor treatment, which is fascinating because it's not your average kind of chiropractor. She's not your average kind of chiropractor, and it's not your average form of chiropractor treatment. It's a kind of treatment that doesn't involve any strong manipulation of the spine, any kind of rigorous attention on the spine, and it's more about energy. And it took me quite a while to get my head around this because while I was new to Los Angeles and I was new to kind of anything that was outside of what I knew and convention. So I attended one of her lectures in Beverly Hills where she had a practice, and I was pretty fascinated after probably about 10 minutes. Although she'd kind of enrolled me into the idea over this dinner with some mutual friends of ours, and I was just fascinated. So the idea of it, what really kind of stuck with my mind is the hard drive is the spine. Our spine is like the human hard drive for the body. And this is what Linda said in one of these kind of introduction letters. And I thought, this is interesting. I've never heard of this. So can you just give a quick explanation of how the treatment works? And then we can just do a bit of kind of conversation about what it did for me and what it's done for other people.
Sure. Basically, as I said to you initially, the spine is your hard drive. The spine, you can tell so much about a person, how they process the world, experience the world, how they deal with their stress, how they deal with their relationships, what kind of behaviors they have. Actually, one of my mentors was just sharing, before someone is able to commit a crime, their spine has to go into a certain configuration.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like literally you know how the person is experiencing the world and how they're interfacing with that by how they hold their spine and their spinal position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible. So
Yeah.
you were saying that as we go through life, we kind of build up all this tension, trauma, mental blockages, emotional blockages,
all the
stress.
undigested events in our life.
And it all gets stored in our spine, in like our lower spine.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily even stored in our spine. It gets stored in the experience, and so it reflects into the spine.
Interesting.
So the spine is a reflection center. It's like it gets stored in the cloud.
Okay.
But it gets reflected in through the spine.
And by cloud, you mean?
We have a cloud that's not localized. It's not a place because they think it's stored in our mind, but it's not. That there's been no place in the mind that they have looked at to be able to go, oh yeah, this is where it's stored.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But in terms of the physical reaction in the body, though, you can actually
see it.
Notice it.
You can absolutely see where in the body.
And you can actually see spines kind of contract, can't you?
Yeah, you can absolutely see the distortions. Yes.
She brought out this spine into the class, like a whole kind of skeleton.
Spinacus.
What's it called?
I named him Spinacus.
Oh, Spinacus.
Yeah.
Love it. And she just kind of compared a healthy one to a not so healthy one. And people who are inactive, we tend to live very sedentary lives these days. We're sat down all the time, and that alone kind of contracts the spine. But when you're not actively dealing with emotions and trauma and blockages.
Yes, so when we are being who we think we're supposed to be rather than who we are, when we're not expressing our full range of emotions, when we are not expressing really who we are due to all the conditioning that has occurred, which puts a cap on who we are.
Interesting.
Then that cap is literally a physical distortion. that
Wow.
happens. So if you like think too much, your neck will probably do this. Or, you know, if you're constantly freaking out about the future, the neck actually goes further like this. Or if you're more, you know, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Like my life's great. That it's like there's posturing.
Yeah.
So we posture our stance in life.
So, talking about posture, I mean, this is one of the main things. It took me quite a few sessions to actually get my head around this, because it seems a bit kind of woo-woo to the, you know, certainly to an Englishman coming over to Los Angeles.
It's not very proper.
It's not very proper. It's not the normal stuff. And I saw the demonstration you did on your clients or some other clients, and I just thought, wow, this can't be real. And you can see that they're lying on this bench, and without barely touching these people, their entire spine would adjust like that. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, no, that doesn't look real. They're manipulating that. There's no way that's real. And, you know, she flipped them over and then did a similar thing on their chest, and they're kind of adjusting their entire kind of physicality, and breathe, a lot of breath work in it, isn't there, and your limbs, and it was really quite remarkable and almost unbelievable. And we had a free session, and sure enough, not a lot happened with me. And I thought, okay, I'm still curious. And I came back another 3 times, I think. And I think on the 4th time, or maybe the 5th time, I saw you do a lecture again. And you said something that really kind of brought something to my attention, and that is how your posture is your emotional statement to the world. I didn't have any kind of physical pain or anything. I went in for kind of focus. I wanted to learn how to focus my mind on one task, because that's not something I'm very good at naturally. And I wanted to kind of really focus and hone in my attention on my work. So she said something along the lines of, you know, being goal-oriented and being target-driven and this kind of stuff. And something she said in the second lecture was your spine is your emotional statement to the world. So however you hold your body is your emotional statement to the world.
Yes, and not a forced way of holding, because sometimes people will just like do, and it's like that's a forced way. It's just where you naturally slip into, and each moment per moment shows you your energy level and shows what emotional state you're experiencing.
Interesting. And like I was saying earlier, you can actually shift your emotional state like that, can't you, by changing your posture?
Yes.
In fact, you can increase testosterone by doing that for like 20 seconds.
Well, I don't know. That's not
true
confirmed by
story.
research over here. But you can absolutely change your emotional expression. You can change
Your
how
state.
you perceive reality, your state, by shifting your posture and naturally shifting it with your breath, movement, or energy, not just forcing and locking into a posture.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like allowing life to move with you and through you.
Interesting. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I mean, you could, just by changing your tonality, your facial expressions, like the way you gesticulate and all that kind of stuff, you can change your state, can't you?
Yes,
Pretty
and
amazing.
the other thing is in the spinal cord, this gets me really excited.
Okay.
In the spinal cord, you have emotional centers right next to the pain centers at every single level of the spinal cord.
Wow.
Okay, so
Wow.
the spine houses the spinal cord inside.
Yeah.
So inside the cord, it's like a whole bunch of wires that go through.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So one of the wires is emotion.
And this is all energy, of course, going up and down your spine.
Yeah, so when you change the configuration of the spinal cord, the configuration of the emotion someone habitually experiences shifts.
Amazing.
And the pain that you experience in life is the pain centers of the spinal cord are right next to the emotional centers in the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. So when you shift the allowing and expression of emotion, you're literally changing how you experience pain. So if you actually, when you're experiencing pain, if you make the face of it, if you make the sound of it, if you actually match that, then the pain is able to shift and reconfigure.
My goodness.
So most people think of pain as
Forgotten
really
that.
solid, or something's broken, or that they can't do anything about it. And it's like if you have shoulder pain, and if you actually just like make the face of it, make the sound of it, like actually really allow that to express and just be with it, it actually shifts. But what happens is when most people have pain, they try to not experience the pain.
Or they take a drug to cover up the pain.
That's it. And in trying not to experience it, it creates more pain.
Yeah, interesting. On the subject of pain,
Yeah.
I've got a friend of mine, remarkable man in Phoenix, Dr. Incledon. He's really good with the nervous system, and he's able to get rid of people's pain without even touching their body, just by doing various mobility exercises with your arms and legs and with your eyes, and it's incredible. He says there can be two people, one with a really minor injury on their elbow and someone with a really severe injury, and the person with the minor injury can experience more pain because the pain is felt in the head, not in the actual injury itself. And I've actually referred a few people to him, and he's been able to get rid of their pain very, very quickly just with that very thing.
So can I stop you on that for
Yeah.
a second? That people, so many practitioners have so many beautiful ways of understanding the human body and really working with the human body and working with pain. The one thing that makes network spinal analysis really particular or special is that we view pain as a warning. It's going, hey, you're off in some aspect of your life. This is why you have pain. So it's like I always say to my clients, I don't want the pain to go away until you have made every single change in your life, in your being, in your relationships that you need to make.
Yeah.
So it's it's not about making the person comfortable. It's not about the pain going away, but the pain being a friend that's going, hey, you're off in this.
It's an action signal.
Yeah, it's a feedback loop.
Yeah.
So it's like when you make all the necessary changes, then the pain doesn't need to be there anymore, and it's no longer there. So it's like instead of spending all this energy and getting rid of the signal, it's like, no, I want the signal to be there to tell me when I'm being off, because that's my autocorrect.
Yeah.
That's not in the culture.
I think, yeah. No, I know, totally. I've really kind of started to understand the idea of pain being, an action signal rather than a problem.
That's a really good way of saying that. I like that. Action signal.
Thank you. Yeah, it's but it's quite cool how if you have an elbow pain, you can kind of reduce it with the nervous system.
Oh, yeah.
But
And people who specialize, I mean, that's really amazing that someone can do that.
Yeah. Next part, you said every single vertebrae, every single nerve is connected to other different organs throughout your body, didn't you?
Yes.
So every organ is connected to your spine in some way or another. So if your spine is out of shape, if you're sitting all day, for example, sitting is the new smoking, it gets compressed, it goes out of shape, and it suffers. So you have that compounded with not dealing with emotions, with stress and trauma and all this kind of stuff. It's a recipe for disaster. Isn't it?
And can I interrupt
Absolutely.
you on the sitting part? See, the thing isn't that we're sitting. It's that we're sitting unaware of our bodies, and we're not moving as we're sitting. We're not stretching. We don't get up and walk every however long for some people they need to maybe walk every 40 minutes. For some people, it's just standing, stretching, elongating.
Doing some yoga.
It's being, but it's not. It's just even simpler than that. It's just literally every moment paying attention and going, okay, do I need to just change my posture for a second? Do I need to change my position? Do I need to get up for a moment?
Yeah.
It's just
breathe?
more simple things.
Yeah.
It's not the more involved things that make a bigger impact.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Coming back to what I experienced.
Yeah.
So, when you were kind of demonstrating on other clients and other people who'd been doing this treatment for many months, you'd see their entire body change, and sometimes they would cry or they'd scream or they'd get very emotional in other ways. And I just thought, what?
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic, yeah, absolutely. Giggling and all sorts of cool stuff. And it was amazing to see. And then there's me, skeptical head going, no, this isn't real, this isn't right. And
Isn't that wild that the expression of life, like we're not used to thinking that that's like we have to get skeptical about it, because when I first saw it too, I was skeptical.
I think you've got to be, and it's
yeah.
just not normal. It's not. I mean, it's not what we're used to.
Yes.
So it was quite something to get my head around. And so when I saw all this happening with other people, and it wasn't happening with me, I was like, "What? Why isn't this happening with me? Come on, I accept. Come on, just do this, work on me." And it wasn't until the 5th time when I went in and I was like, "Right, I'm going to see a lecturer again. I need to be re-enrolled into this whole idea." And that's when you talked about your posture being your emotional statement to the world. And I was like, right, okay, I need to get focused, I need to get clear, I need to set goals and stuff, and I need to just do my stuff. And you said, right, sit on the desk, or on the bench, and I sat there, and I thought I had quite an upright posture, and you just adjusted me, and I was like, okay, that's not quite as natural as, it didn't feel natural. And you kind of did your thing a little bit, barely touching me, like a tiny bit at the top, and you spent more time on my tailbone on that particular time. And I just kind of breathed in, and I kind of adjusted everything, not really knowing what I was doing, but I was just breathing in.
He was following his instincts of letting his breath, movement, energy move him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just quickly, one thing that got me past my skepticism was seeing this done on kids. Because you could I could see Donnie Epstein, the founder, who came up with this like 20 odd years ago. You could see that these kids' spines going. You could see as the energy was going down one end, you can see the spine kind of doing this.
The wave going through the spine.
And there's no way that kids are going to manipulate that, because why would they? So I thought, right, let's give this some more chance. And I gave it some more chance, and I sat there. And you did your thing up here, mostly down there, and you then said lie down, and then I think when I was lying down you did your thing, and then you said sit up again. So first she adjusted me, got me into a perfect posture, then laid me down, kind of did her thing either end of my spine without barely touching me, and then after that, after about 5 minutes, stood up or sat up, and then I had this shooting pain going all the way down the right hand side of my legs. And I thought, what on earth is going on? And you said, just sit with it. And I thought, okay. And I realized that if my spine wasn't in the perfect position, the pain would just come shooting back. And when I sat perfectly, it was gone. So that's a communication from my body saying, that is how you need to sit. And it's been years and years and years of suppression and kind of getting used to not having a good posture that has allowed my spine to allow me to not sit in a very favourable way, should we say.
Yeah.
So that was pretty amazing. But what happened afterwards was even more cooler, because I left the office and went down the road, down South Beverly Glen, whatever it was, and I was on an absolute mission. I was leading with my chest. Like, I could feel my chest kind of almost pulling me along. And it was crazy. And I was like, what? This is cool. This is so cool. And I just wanted to just walk, and I just kept walking up and down the road.
So that's what they mean by being led by purpose. It's like when purpose is leading you, there's a different pull that you follow in the posture that you're representing.
Yeah. It was insane. I mean, it was mind-boggling what happened. And I went inside and I went to get something to eat, and I met some of the guys who had actually been in the same office, and I got talking to them, and this guy said to me, you look like you're on a mission, like you're a man on a mission. I could see your eyes as you were crossing the road, you were just like this. And I was like, yeah, I've been 5 times and I've not really experienced that yet. And that got me really interested again. And then he talked about his experience, about how he'd seen Donnie Epstein and they treated him, and he had this incredible realization, and he kind of fell onto the ground and cried and stuff, and after that everything in work completely sorted itself out. It's really dark.
Yeah, it's really dark.
Everything, like his company, his manager had called or one of all of his employees and team, because he was a team manager, his team members reported to his boss that he had completely changed his approach to work, and suddenly he had become this amazing person to work with, and his life has changed dramatically ever since, and he becomes an NSA for like I think twice a week or something ever since then. So that kind of blew my mind even more. So
Change your
stop saying
spine,
so.
change your life.
Yeah.
Change your spine, change your life.
Yeah, incredible. Is there anything else you'd like to share? I mean, I just wanted to share that because I just think it's cool. It was totally new to me, and it was just so random bumping into you then.
That was very cool.
And is there anything else you can kind of share about the importance of looking after the spine? Something else you said, when when old people kind of they start crouching over and over and over as they get older and older, you said that shouldn't happen.
No, having a bad posture or having that old people posture is not something that needs to happen as we age.
Yeah.
That's just, if you continue to veer further and further off course, and imagine if you never gave away any of your clothes and you continued to pile clothes on, right? And never get rid of anything. That's what happens.
You look like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, and that's what happens a lot of times when people age. It's like if you're not dealing and confronting and system updating, system reorganizing, just checking in and going, is this true for who I am today?
Yeah.
And if you're still using strategies that are outdated, of course you're going to become more and more and more burdened by life.
Yeah. Rather than
And
more than dealing with it.
what would be a beautiful world for me is to see people being so, as they get older and older, they get more and more in alignment with who they are.
Yeah, so they get more and more
More
upright.
inspired and more inspiring.
Ooh, like that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. I've got a few questions here. Hi. Thank you, Michaela. I said we've got to speak with Lenny Rosenblum, I think. Anyway, it's almost dark now.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can turn a light on. So, do you have any kind of thoughts just to kind of share as we look after your spine, breathe, go to NSA?
Go to NSA, and also just allowing yourself to experience your experience, whatever it is. It's like if you're not experiencing such positivity in a moment, actually let yourself experience the sometimes it seems like it's never going to change.
I can relate to
It's
this.
like actually really experiencing that. Or if you're really experiencing I'm so ready, it's like really fully letting yourself experience that. Or it's like if you're really just in that like I am so ready to share my gifts with the world, you know? It's like, and I'm really ready to receive something that was not such a gift as a gift.
Okay.
It's like all those things affect our physiology.
Wow.
And our physiology affects all those things. It's a arrow going in both directions.
Because your physiology affects your psychology.
Yes.
So if your physiology is affected, your state of mind is affected.
Your spine is your subconscious mind. That's another one. Your spine is your subconscious mind.
Your spine is your subconscious mind. Wow.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I'm going to be I would like you to do a little session with me right now. Does anyone have any questions? There's a few of you here. You don't have your practice here anymore. I was hoping to say go and check out her practice, but it's you're over in Switzerland now, and
so I would say go to wiseworldseminars.com.
Okay.
And go to a Donnie Epstein program. Go to a gate. That would be a good place to start.
Check out Donnie Epstein. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And open your mind because it seems too unbelievable at first, but it's cool. I've experienced firsthand how it works. Oh, I don't mean to punch the table there. Thank you for listening, everyone. If no one's got any questions, got some comments, no questions. Has anyone got any questions? Not that many people on, actually. Okay.
Low battery. Oh, low battery.
Alrighty. Thanks for listening, everyone. Check out NSA.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.